Hello, we have a game between two AQ players played on IGS Pandanet where black won by 23.5, and this happened mostly because of killing the top white group in the late middle game stage of the game. So let's see how did it go. A very normal opening with a high approach, the high Kakari, which used to be very popular before AI era. White decides to grab the corner. That's a good move. So we have the most common Joseki played in the top right corner. Now here white can already consider several moves. C6 is one of them. White can also think about invading the corner at C3 or play an approach move in the top like G17 or H17 in order to prevent black's expansion towards the top left corner. So these are the common options for white to consider at this stage of the game. Now D10 is also a very old-fashioned style play. Normally nowadays we often see the attach at C4 followed by the block and hane. Then we got this kind of Joseki where white can extend C8 or push D6. Then black can play away to expand his moe in the top. Back to the original game. Oops. So white extends back. Black naturally grabs the point in the top where he expands the moyo and also tries to limit white's nice potential on the left side. Then white played a kick, but actually this exchange is quite questionable because it's giving black an ideal shape in the top. So usually it's better to skip the exchange and simply protect the corner, because this way white has two invasion points in the top at H17 and M18. So let's say black plays a move here. Now it's much easier for white to invade the top this way. Or make a probe in the top, invading on the second line. If white simply, if black reacts with a Kosumi to connect his stones, white links under and already the damage is done. If black wants to resist against this kind of invasion, black has to play a move like N18, then white simply jumps out, black will cover, white can cut in order to create a bed shape into black's formation. This is an empty triangle. Then give up the stone in the top in order to get a Ponuki and some thickness towards the center. So in general it's good to keep your opponent's formations thin, so it's much easier to invade later in the game. Playing the kick was a thank you move. So black is happy to have a 2 stones up formation with the extension 3 spaces across. That's an ideal shape. So white defends the corner and black very territorially defends the lower left area. Normally here it's big for black to play R6 because the right side is pretty open and also the bottom. So now white is probably forced to split the bottom in order to create miai between extending one way or the other. And this will induce the corner defense at b4, which is a pretty big move for black. So sorry, I think I jump ahead a little bit here. White goes out at e6, but actually for white it's very big to invade r3 or play an inside approach at o3 and fix a base on the bottom. Well, playing r6 is fine too, and then attach r4. We can play the modern Joseki again. Jumping on the left side, it's not small, but it seems like white focused too much on the left side and disregards the other open sides on the board. So locally this is big, but globally it could be better to play in the lower right corner. So black invades right away. Actually for black it's better to think about the c8 invasion point, but black can just play r6 and defend calm this lower right corner first. Now this attach it's quite aggressive. Very good idea for white to play a Han and block it. Now black plays the crosscut. In general, when a crosscut happens, one should extend, but in this case, white can think about the Atari from above or Atari from the side and then extend. For example, when white plays this Atari, black is supposed to extend down to escape, otherwise Ponuki is just too powerful. And if this happens, white will block b9, then black can extend once at d8, threatening to squeeze. So if white goes up, black will play a few forcing moves and then jump out and separate the two stones on the left side, which means white should stay connected with a double up move at c7. Now if black plays Atari from above and white connects, white keeps all the left side and the group in the middle is still on the run. So black doesn't get much from this crosscut in the particular sequence. Also, if black plays Atari and then just sacrifices the stones on the left side, it feels like this exchange, it's quite terrible for black, because white simply splits the groups and more of the black stones are going to collapse soon. So this becomes too thin for black. Also, when white plays Atari from above and black can extend one more time, it's still very difficult for black to rescue both the stone on the left side and the stones in the middle. So if black plays Atari and tries to make some shape on the left, or maybe descend once and then make I shape here, the three stones in the middle are already captured. Now if black wants to save the guys in the center with Atari and let's say go out with a loose ladder this way, white already got a lot of profit on the left side. So this is also nice for white, taking the territory in center and then go for the big points. So in this particular crosscut, white should consider one Atari or the other, but the extension is just normal, following the proverb. Now here, this move looks a little bit odd, seems to be a misclick or something. Well, it's obvious that white wants to capture d9 in a net and probably on a larger scale, so white doesn't want to play just Atari here or the basic net shape. And in a way, white is trying to capture it a little bit more fancy. So one of the moves that white can consider is the extension, just Nobi in the middle like this. It's difficult for black to escape now, because if black tries to go out, white will just attach, and no matter how black is trying to rescue the stones, they will still get surrounded. And on the other hand, a move like f10 or Kosumi f11, which serves to capture the stone in the middle, but also it's putting a lot of pressure on the left side group. So now it's much tougher for the three heavy stones to go out. So in this case, black has to go d13, then white can push, black can jump or Nobi. But this way, white also defends indirectly the top left corner while attacking the black stones. So let's say this happens, black connects his groups, but mostly running on neutral points. But white now doesn't have to play another move in the center, so white can grab a big point. It's a big difference to defend in center instead of gote, especially in the early stage of the game. So playing g8 wasn't the optimal way to protect. Well, black simply pushes out, it's a natural way, and push along. Now here the jump is also questionable. Normally white should simply get ahead. Now when black connects to the top, white can Han and connect in order to secure the corner against the sun invasion. But if white doesn't play g10, let's say white just plays e14, then black is very happy to turn. So when white defends, it's either an empty triangle or this kind of move that makes white extremely heavy, and black connects the top again. So These are good forcing moves for black in the middle. That's why white needs to get ahead. Now the jump didn't help so much because black could still wedge, so black is forcing white to add more moves inside his own territory. This defense is actually still better to be on net from shape point of view. Playing this kind of connection, which is solid, creates two empty triangles here and here. So it's a little bit too heavy. Black jumps here, but in order to put more pressure in the corner, black should think about e14. And that way, when white protects, well, it's still good to play Han and connect. So like this, white creates a little bit of agi at the top with the clamp or the pip, but black can also build more in the center this way. So back to the original game, black just jump and white plays away. White actually needs another move in the corner, at least a pip here or something to protect against the sun, because with all that black thickness surrounding the top left corner, it can be very dangerous. Black attached. That's also a bit questionable. It's good enough for black to defend, calm and collected. Then when white comes out, black can jump from the top, threatening to reduce the right side, and then also jump from the bottom area to make sure white doesn't build so much in the center and then grab another big point. So if you look at the territory on the bottom and the one in the top, it looks like black builds more than white has on the right, and the tiny group on the left and tiny corner in the top left. So this should be a very solid position for black. So we have the attach, hane, nobi also. That's a good move, but white can also consider s5 and then play away. Now white extends back, that's also a fine move to make a base, and black ended up the Joseki with 0-4. Now it's time to do something about the bottom area. So white invades. This is actually a pretty nice point to invade, because if black extends from the lower left side, white can slide into the corner, and if black blocks at n3, which happened in the game, white has space to make a base. So L3 was a very good point to create mi between extending on the left or extending to the right. Black bumps, it doesn't really need to do that, but okay. And white, it's alert about the top moyo and decides to play a very aggressive invasion. Actually here, white should think about expanding his own moyo on the right side. So a move like 014 or 013 is better, because it starts to grow this territory on the right, and also in the same time reduce the top area or limit that potential black has over there. This can be a little dangerous, like if black plays the hane to cover and continue, he might kill everything and build more than he's supposed to. But black decided to play submissive. A very good hane at k15 just to come out. And here actually, white should think about a double hane in order to sacrifice one stone and get more outside forcing moves. Actually here black can capture right away, so there is no Atari at k17. Then white simply jumps out. So this is a much easier way to settle the group in the middle. So white simply pushes and then one space jump. Actually here, if white plays a 2-space jump, then he's out faster. Even if black cuts, white can sacrifice a stone and still stay pretty safe with the middle group. So there's a lot of potential for white here. Now if this happens, white actually has a chance to win this game compared to the actual game where the group died big. We will see in a few moves. In fact, white had several chances to rescue that top group. Now here white played a bit too submissive. white should normally go up, and if black blocks, white should cut. On Atari, escape. When black connects, white comes out again. Black will push. Maybe this is a bit dangerous, so white should jump again. But in fact, it's fighting spirit to Nobi. So white decides to protect the right side. Another option would be to play Keima from the weak group. Then when black goes back to defend, white can keep the right side. Here white can connect by taking away liberty and also build an extra point at S11. This might be important later in the game. So black has to come back and protect somehow, probably with a peep. Then simply jump again in the center again. Oops. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. White needs another move here. And then when black defends against the cut, white also defends in the center. So playing S11, it's a bit more submissive. It leaves less cut threats, but it's also 1 point less and less pressure on black. So white plays again in the center, but the peep actually is threatening to push and cut and capture some stones. So normally white needs to protect here. And then if black attacks from M12, white can come out like this and either connect in the center or create I shape to live inside the middle. And if black attacks from the left side somehow this way, white will just jump between the groups. Instead of Nobi here, which in general it's okay to be ahead of your opponent, white should just focus on keeping the top group safe. Even if black Atari is here, if white jumps again, white doesn't only make twice, it's more like a territory inside the center, and it's not such a big deal to lose one stone in the middle of the board in this case, because there are lots of white stones around it, so that Ponuki is not going to be like 30 points as the proverb says, so I can just play away. So it seems that white missed the important place on the board, which was saving the top area. Now it's finally alert about that, but should jump out this way. Just keep the group connected into the middle. Okay, that was a center exchange, so white can still jump out. I think white was following the fundamental to get ahead too much here, and now the top group got surrounded and it's getting tougher to escape. So this was probably the last moment for white to rescue his group. Well, instead of playing here, white can consider N15. Now when black surrounds, white makes two eyes this way, and if black takes the vital point, white can come out with a move at N13, then push along, Hane, Atari once, extend, threatening to capture the stone at M11, so black connects, and then push and cut this way. So now if white captures the mark group in the center, then he's already out with a lot of profit. Therefore maybe a bit more difficult for black to capture. So the key point was actually N15, creating Miai between the escape in the middle or simply create a second eye. Like this, black puts pressure from the outside and then hits the vital point. So now there's no way out for white. It's really tough to continue the game after this happened. I mean, if you look at the position here, white lost all this group and the surrounding territory without gaining any compensation. And this was worth more than 30 points. So the game could have been much closer or to white, towards white's advantage. White is just losing more points like this. Actually, black can hane and kill more from the outside. But black doesn't want to be greedy, it seems, which is good attitude. Black can play Atari here, then push along. Because even if white plays Atari from behind, this is going to be a false eye. So white is dying even bigger. Here black can play the hanging connection at p18, because even if white goes down, black will connect and nothing happens. So that was a bit damaging. Well, white can go down p18, but white still needs to go back at r15. Actually, the game is pretty tough, so now white should resign. Yeah, white has to give up a few more stones here. And actually, going down, it's a bigger life in the corner. This is alive. And this can live too, but it's a bit tougher. Huh? Well, white is still alive. So white needs to live bigger, but it's still hard to come back. Yeah, this way, a bit more painful to make life in the corner. Black didn't even try the sun evasion here, but he should have, in order to damage more in center. If white tries to resist against this sun evasion by going down, it's going to be very difficult because of the cutting point. So white can collapse in the entire corner. So hane and connect. Now the proper way to protect the corner is c17. White is brave, but he has to be. And here actually it's proper to simply no-b. Now on this Atari, white should protect r8, so when black captures, white just links under. Playing like this, it can lead to a co-fight. But black missed the opportunity. Black can play the cut and then Atari. And if black wins the ko, it's another disaster for white. So when white goes down, black will play Atari again. Then try to threaten, connect under in the top. Take the ko. Actually, the top left corner can die from ko threats too. Yeah, this is really impossible for white to keep fighting. Ooh, going down was a misread by black. Black should connect and attack the corner, which is very severe. Like this, black gave up a few stones, and it was also, well, this is a got a move by white. But actually here, black would just push along and capture the two stones. As an endgame move, white should play m2, and then of course come back and protect the top left corner. And in the lower side, it's better to play hane and connect, so later on white can follow up with f1. Playing this Atari, it's actually a Najikeshi, so now because of this exchange, black cannot invade the corner anymore. So that was a thank you move. And here it's usually better to play the hanging connection to keep eye shape in the corner, but this will leave anyway. Black can play the k-mine center. This block is no need, -1 point. The group is already surrounded and killed, so black could play away. So now we have very small moves, but black is still keeping the lead. The timing is to play Atari first and then connect. But actually, white didn't have to play there. And normally, white can play q18, threatening to attack under, so black will go down to prevent that happening. Because like this, white just got gote for no reason. This is a big point. b5, very good. Black is very conservative. He knows he's ahead and he doesn't want to mess up. White can just block and grab an extra point. Nothing happens in that corner. White could Atari the two stones and then connect. Build a few extra points. So that was it. It seems the game was decided in the top area where white failed to escape his group. Nothing happens here, but nice try by black. He just wanted to see what happened. p3, it's really not necessary. But when 30 points ahead, or 23 in this case, it makes sense to be conservative when you're lazy to read what happens if your opponent tries something nasty inside your territory. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review and we'll see you guys next time.